Today, we're going to be highlighting a few of the important tools in Commonlit to make sure that you are doing your best reading and that you're answering questions carefully. Commonlit has several tools that can help you read carefully and take notes, and we want to make sure that we're always using these tools when we're reading. So I'm going to start by clicking an assignment. And the first thing you'll notice is that there's a blurb to summarize what this will be about and what you should pay attention to. In bold, it's giving the reader a specific task about what they should notice or take notes on. So it's very important that we're reading this introduction. Don't just click got it, read the whole introduction before you begin reading. The same instruction is here, so you can also read it again as a reminder. The first thing that I'm always going to do is I'm going to start by clicking up here where it says New on the Annotation tool. This tool allows me to highlight text. So for example, I could highlight this first sentence, and then I can click on the highlighter here and choose a color that I want to highlight it. I can also click on this, double click, and I can click on this T here for text. And here's what I can add a note to show that this might be an important takeaway. So this talks about how it requires action. I'm going to say that change was difficult. Making change was just difficult. And then click done. So now I can see that I highlighted important information. I also added a note with my own thoughts about that evidence. You as a reader should be taking notes and highlighting details based on this bolded clue at the top. You should have at least 3 annotations in your text. So if teachers go back to look at your work and look at your thinking, we should see that you've annotated by highlighting and taking notes at least 3 times, but maybe many more times than that. The other features to take note of are that anytime you see a numbered blue box, that means that they're going to define a vocabulary word or just add an important fact that is helpful. So this box here defines the word content. So it gives you a vocab definition. Here's another definition of a vocab word. And this is not a definition, but it actually gives you just a fact that might help you better understand the text about fugitive slaves. So if you're not sure what a fugitive slave is or what that meant, this gives you a bit of a summary here. So while you're reading, you should always be clicking on these boxes to make sure that you're noticing new words or new ideas. Next is while you're reading, you'll see these guided questions. Anytime you see a guided question, you should be going back to the text and highlighting evidence. For example, this question is about the conductors of the Underground Railroad. I might notice here that it's not an actual railroad, so I might say, okay, I want to highlight this, but I also want to add in that this is my evidence for question 1. And that's going to help me maybe notice the evidence and make sure that I have evidence to support each answer. This evidence does not actually prove that answer. I'm just trying to show you how this works. So for every single question, make sure that you're highlighting the evidence before you choose the answer. Oop, that's wrong. As you continue reading, you can see that if I were to keep going, I'm going to get to more vocabulary words and more guiding questions. Your goal every time you're answering questions is to make sure that you're going back to the text, you're finding evidence and you're highlighting it, and your goal is to get the correct answer the first time that you are reading. I made a mistake because I'm not actually reading this text, but you as readers need to make sure that you're showing really strong habits and using all of these annotation tools to do that. Moving forward, as a reminder, please make sure that you always have at least 3 annotations or 3 notes in the text, and that you're also highlighting evidence for every single question that you answer. We know that you guys can do a great job, and we cannot wait to see the improved scores that you're getting on Commonlit.